herbs, start breaking down all the liver stones. Most people don't even know that they actually have liver stones. They think stones are only associated with the gallbladder. And people that have their gallbladder taken out, by the way, those people are even more susceptible to fatty liver and liver disease and should do liver cleansing even more often, because that means the liver has to then take over all the work of the gallbladder. It has to produce and store the bile, and it just works extra hard. So when you clean the liver out and using those oils, that's why it's so important to drink the olive oil with the liver cleanse, because it works kind of like oil pulling. You know, Dr. Oz came out and everybody's on this bandwagon of doing oil pulling in their mouth with coconut oil. Well, that's old Ayurvedic, ancient Indian technologies of using oils, good oils, to coat the cell membranes, but also oils have an affinity for toxins and chemicals, and they suck them out. They pull them out. So during the liver cleanse on day 5, when you drink your olive oil and that olive oil saturates into the liver, you're actually pulling all those chemicals and toxins out of the liver. And then some of them form little oil droplets, and it causes the liver to purge and to squeeze, almost like a oil filter in a car, which is so congested. You can still run oil through the filter and it doesn't clean. But if you were to purge and squeeze that oil filter, then you would get all that toxic gunk out of there back into the intestines, and then you can eliminate it properly.
Well, it really is frustrating that so-called MD medicine just tells people if you've got a problem with your gallbladder or whatever, just take it out. Or if you've got, your liver losing function, they don't even tell you that the liver can regenerate. Well, when that's just mainline medical science, they just tell you get on the list for a transplant, get on the list to have it removed. It's just crazy that they don't tell anybody this, but I saw a British study just a couple days ago that if you quit drinking for a month, that most of the time a liver that's even 80% dead will regenerate. Now, that's medical doctors saying that in England. That's not me. I'm not a medical doctor, but I look at MD medicine in the U.S., and they just, I have a distant cousin, but I know him, and he's a computer programmer, worked for Microsoft, and he collapsed not knowing he had liver problems just from moderate drinking. And they told him, well, you got like 20% liver, fatty cirrhosis and problems. We're just going to get you on a list to get you a new liver. It may take 5 years for your liver to totally fail, but we think it will. And I talked to them. They didn't tell them about liver cleanses. They didn't tell them about, anything. They didn't discuss, hey, livers regenerate a lot of the time.
Right.
They just told them, get ready to get a new liver, because I guess that's how they make more money. Why is that, Dr. Group?
Well, that actually was part of our research, and it turns out that the two most important organ systems in the body, the intestinal tract, which is the largest endocrine gland, regenerates the top layer every 24 hours, and the liver regenerates itself every 3 months. So that just tells you how important those organ systems are, and that just goes to show you why they were developed in the body. Like for your bones, for example, they regenerate every 6 years, but the liver and the intestines are the main organs that are going to be exposed to all of the most damaging toxins and chemicals and everything we're exposed to. And so those are the ones that take the most damage. There's more than 900 prescription drugs out there that injure the intestines and the liver. There's 29 million Americans that are suffering from non-fatty liver disease. And the thing is, the problem is you really don't have a lot of symptoms. With your intestines, you might have bloating, gas, pains every now and then, some diarrhea, constipation, but it's really hard to diagnose liver problems. And those just creep up on you because slowly when the liver, and they know that they can damage the liver long term, and that's going to lead to all of the other degenerative illnesses. Because when the liver's filtering all those chemicals and toxins out of the blood and it becomes overwhelmed and fatty, guess what? 50, 60, 70% of those chemicals and toxins the liver's not able to filter and process.
So now it starts taking down all the other organs. I want to show just in the last 5 months, working out less now because I've been so busy, but taking the supplements, the X2, doing the liver cleanse, the products at InfoWarsLife.com, I went from super jumbo fat I mean, and that was us, Leanne, in England 3 years ago, 280 pounds to now losing more than 60 pounds. Now, the images on screen are just me month to month over a 3-month period, and then that was just last week. So in 3 months, it's been that dramatic. And it's not saying I look great. I'm not Mr. Beachbody, but I have certainly lost over 60 pounds. And it took me years to lose just 20 or 30. And then now in the last year, I've lost more than I lost before that. And when I do finally focus now and work out moderately, the weight just pours off of me. I kind of take advantage of the supplements, though, and kind of have gotten lazy again. So it's been slower for me. What happened with your friend?
With her weight loss?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, she's very experienced with this, so she just goes kind of gung-ho, and she slimmed down like flat as a pancake. She said that she weighs the least that she's weighed in over a decade.
And she's in a lot of pretty big B movies, also some A movies.
Yeah.
She's a pretty big actress, and she was already slimming down. She's a sports model as well, and she'd gained some weight. And she told me here, she said, this is the best cleanse, hands down, I've ever done.
Right. No, she loves it, and that's why she was so ready to do it again after she did it the first time. But, of course, you know, we had to wait for the product to come back in.
That's right. She'd done it once,
right.
Told you should do it. This is your first time, though.
Correct. Yeah, and so she was just kind of helping me through it, giving me some good diet tips as far as some good healthy snacks to have. And
Leanne, I think green is your color.
Thank you. I like that shirt, too. But I still want to say that those were not my after photos. Just like I mentioned, those are my almost finished with the cleanse photo. So I'm actually thinner now because I actually have...
I can see it. Don't get too thin,
flushed.
though.
No, I don't want to lose any weight. It was just around the muffin
tiny
top
little
area.
tummy.
You could see on the sides where I kind of had a little roll there up at the top, and it just flushed out. And that, I think...
Well, by the way, it's not the crew's fault. I came in today, did not do any preparation on this. Then the computers that had all the videos crashed. So I'm asking for these videos while the group's talking. They're scrambling, trying to resurrect them. So the crew's doing an exemplary job. We do need to get the latest photos. That was you in the middle of the cleanse,
right?
And you can see a big difference.
Well, that was because I had I switched the salts around. Maybe Dr. Group can talk about why it's important to do the Epsom versus like a Himalayan salt. So I switched the salts around so my body didn't properly flush. And so I ended up just getting really bloated and like OD'd on sodium. So that was a big mistake there. So I didn't even really want to take...
I was about to say, you've really lost weight now. It's like the week after the cleanse. What happened?
Yeah. Well, it's just because that particular day I was still really bloated from the sodium, and so the flush took a little bit longer. Dr. Group had to kind of walk me through some steps to...
Well, this is the last network break I'm going to skip for the next week, and it's an order to John Harmon, but I have to skip it because I want to air this 5-minute report with you and your friend doing the cleanse together, and you guys shot this at home yourselves. She came over to your house. Great job, Leanne, on top of hosting the news and hosting the radio and all the work you do. This was your idea. You did it.
Yep.
And the video is very popular with viewers and listeners. Next hour, Jim Mars is going to be in studio with us. We're going to cover a bunch of other news. We're going to come back after this video and get Dr. Group's take on other health news and where he sees the forced inoculation move going to forcibly inoculate us. But Leanne, I tell you, it makes me want to really follow the cleanse like you guys did.
Yeah, I haven't even started drinking again because I stopped drinking, a couple days before the cleanse just to make it easier. And I haven't even, just knowing what was coming out with the toxins and everything and how great I felt during that time. I haven't even gone back to drinking or eating fatty foods because I want to keep feeling this good. So it is Halloween this weekend. So
your eyes are even more sparkly.
I know people have been saying my skin's glowing, so it was a real good time.
Did we ever cue up a Wonder Woman song for her? Oh my gosh, maybe later. We're gonna go out. You know what? Let's just play it right now before we play this piece because the entire world is waiting for her, and then we will go out of Wonder Woman and into the piece that Leanne and her friend put together on what happened. But just briefly. Because I don't like, obviously, with a guy even talking about this or on air talking about it, or with a girl that I work with, a lady talking about it, but without getting into details.
But please, go.
But I mean, did it work as advertised?
It worked, and I was really surprised, and...
I didn't believe it. 2 years ago, they were pushing me. I'm like, yeah, right, develop this, I'm going to do it. And they go, no, nobody does this cleanse. This is going to be huge. It's going to help people, and it's going to be very successful.
Yeah.
And then I did it, and I was like, wow, I didn't know I was living in the movie Alien.
Yeah, it was, I mean.
All right, there you go. Dr. Group, what do you think of the wondrous results that Wonder Woman has had?
I think she's awesome. I'm so proud of Leanne and Emmy. I mean, I was talking to her during the cleanse, and I'm just so proud of her. She's gung-ho. She did it, and she had great results. The only thing was she mixed up and used the Himalayan crystal salt, which is regular salt. The reason why we have the Epsom salts in there because they're a magnesium salt.
You got to be the medical grade at like CVS.
Yeah, and I guess, Dr. Group, you were saying that you know, the Himalayan, my body will actually absorb it and be like, that's great. With the other one, it will flush it out.
Yeah, the Himalayan crystal salt is just like regular pure saltwater salt.
So you had the same results, and you did Himalayan salt, not Epsom?
No, that was the problem, is that it did not flush me out. So I had to do another salt flush. It took like an entire extra day of suffering, and Dr. Group kind of talked me through it because the Epsom salt is.
See, this is so unscripted. I don't even know any of this.
Yeah, no, that was
of the suffering.
It was
this product's so good. The suffering.
No,
come suffer.
It was my own fault. I was
no, seriously, it's
lying in bed, and like the room was going like this, and
I'm kind of a wimp. Drinking apple cider vinegar every day is suffering, even though it's really good for you. And just eating the oxy powder tablets, it's not that big a deal. Because I did a cleanse before with herbs, made me totally sick and really hurt my guts. It didn't really work too well. So this is a great cleanse, but I guess there is some legitimate suffering involved.
Well, no, that's why I wanted to just stress to people, follow Dr. Group's instructions. You can find the Epsom salt at Whole Foods or some sort of a store.
Yeah, and you got to buy the little gelatin tablets to put it in. Because I didn't follow his deal, and the next morning didn't have the effect. So I called him up with Anthony, and I said, listen, I'm not having green and black balls. Everybody else says they're getting them. There's something wrong with me. And he goes, did you take the Epsom salts?
Oh, yeah.
And I went, no. And he goes, well, yeah. So then I took them that next day, and then that night it happened.
Right.
So.
And that was another thing Emmy wanted to point out to people. Some people say, oh, well, that's debunked. You know, it's just the olive oil flushing out, and those are the balls. She was having the globules come out before she even took the olive oil. So it was like with the Epsom salt flush, like because it, loosened up the gallbladder and everything. And as soon as I took that olive oil
isn't making black hard marbles.
Exactly. But there's a lot of people in the comments going, oh, no. And she didn't even take the olive oil, and it was already starting to happen.
Well, what do they have to lose? You're funding a hardcore operation, battling for freedom, battling for right to defend, sovereignty. And we only promote and sell what we've used, what we believe in, what's blown people away. Plus, that's free market. We want to have killer products. InfoWarsLife.com. Before I go to this video, support our local AM and FM affiliates. Buy their products, become sponsors, support their sponsors, buy billboards for them. The middle class and wealthy people have to get aggressive, or we're going to lose everything. And working class folks that don't have an extra dollar, you can spread the word about these local AM and FM affiliates. Most talk show hosts plug every segment, different products. We don't do that. Once a week or so, we do 20, 30 minutes of infomercialing to fund the entire operation. And we obviously have some sponsorship as well, but we're about 80% self-funded. I want to thank all you, the viewers and listeners, for buying the products at InfoWarsLife.com. Let's go to this piece with Leanne and her friend and the dramatic results that they had. Here it is.
Hi, everybody. Well, myself and Emmy Robin are here. We're getting ready to do the Liver Shield Cleanse. Very excited. As you can see here, the night before the first day is all about prepping. Yes. So that is what we have going on here. And I felt pretty good rolling out of the grocery store looking like a health nut. Well, we're checking in for day 2 of the InfoWars Life Liver Shield Cleanse. I gotta say, crankier today than yesterday. Emmy to the rescue. Once again, she's brought me some delicious food to try to tame the beast.
She's being a real Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, but we're still hanging in there. Hope you guys are too. Be sure to check out the product, InfoWarsLife.com. It's the Liver Shield Cleanse along with the Oxy Powder. And you don't have to go all the way and take the Liver Cleanse Challenge, but I highly recommend it. And that's me, Evil Queen, on day 2. You can do it. I can do it. You can do it. Hi guys, here we are checking in day 3 of the InfoWars Life Liver Shield Cleanse. I gotta say, today I thought I was expecting it to be really intense and cranky and bad, but I feel pretty good.